Welcome to an afternoon, evening live. Big up on yourself, guys. Wherever you're watching from, welcome. This is the host of JPU. You guys have seen me before. I just came to have a quick chat because I see some breaking news going on, and I want to talk a little bit about the debate, a little bit about the debate last night. So, welcome everybody. Happy Friday, okay? TGIF, big up on yourself. All right, guys. Let us see. I'll just wait for a few more people to come on before I get started. How is everybody doing so far? I hope wonderful. That debate took out a lot of people last night. It was a bit exhausting to say the least. And I'll tell you guys why I felt a little exhausted. But let me just share this real quick and then I'll come back. Say something in the chat, guys. Let me know you're here. Say something in the chat. Let's see. Those of you who went out to vote today, hello, how did it go? Some people went out to vote today, and I see that there is a boom threat. I don't know what me attack. There's a boom threat, and the general secretary, general secretary for the Jamaica Labour Party, is blaming it on the PNP. There's several of them across the country. We've never had this before, right? Remember me telling you, say, this election is not going to be something normal. And I even said that I feel that we're going to need a state of emergency for this election. Remember I said that, guys? I still believe it because I know the type of people that we're dealing with in Jamaica in this election, right? And I have been talking about these people forever. We see what happened in the PNP with Melissa Silvera. We saw the cover up and all these things. So these are people who lack boundary. These are people who don't respect boundary. We hear the language, the rhetoric coming from the hierarchy of the party. And these people are going to do what their party is doing. So when you say, them burn down people's house, they are going around tearing down signs, blocking roads, and doing all that kind of stuff. Listen, the law enforcement apparatus of Jamaica, I don't know if they had a safety plan or an election plan, but they needed to have one. This is not the normal circumstances. So for those of you who are just joining, good evening. Thank you for joining and welcome. Did you guys hear the news, guys? That some Wolipa boom threat around the country? And the General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, Dr. Chang, is blaming it on the PNP, even though they're denying it. Have you guys heard about it? Tell me in the chat. How are you, Ryan? Welcome. Beverly, welcome. Andrea, welcome. Good evening. DJ Cooper, welcome. DJ Cooper, you're from Scotland, UK. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Just talking some politics over here real quick. I'm fine, thank you. Yes, so we're gonna see everybody turn out on Wednesday. I was on a call a little while ago with someone down in Westmoreland and appear excitement. The police them who are there on the spot where the boxes are gonna be transported and transferred. The siren them going off and the excitement and things them. So, may I say that look all right. But when I spoke to the person and asked were they aware of these threats around the country that is trying to interfere with the democratic process, he said that he hadn't heard anything about it. Well, at least not down there in Westmoreland. So it might not be there, happening there. Good evening, Silver Fox, welcome. So the day was mostly good. That's good, Carliner. That's good. But we really want to talk to some people on the topic of the debate last night. You know, everybody come out with them opinion and them analysis, and I've been seeing and listening, and we talked about it over here last night a little bit, you know. So you guys may have heard what I said, and the other ladies, Karen and 411, who joined us. But there's a handful of people, whether they're in mainstream media or they're bloggers or they're partisan to the PNP, are saying that Mark Golding, Mark Golding won the debate, or Mark Golding had some edge. I mean, I say, what kind of edge? Did we watch the same debate? Because that's not accurate. I mean, Mark Golding, about 90% of the time, told lies. That is not winning a debate to me. That's not having an edge to me. You don't go to a debate to to argue lies. That's not what we do. Missy a lady put up something over TikTok where she was saying the same thing that I've been saying, which is that the debate commission, they need to be fact-checking people. Because when you have someone who plan to come there and just tell pure lies because there's nobody fact-checking, they take away time from the debate process. They take away time from answering real questions and real truths. They rob the audience and the voters, right, of, you know, information and truthful information. I didn't hear Andrew Holness tell one lie up there. And we know things. We know what going on because we have been doing this. Gathering information, sharing information with you guys. We get information from, you know, people who are close to certain things. So Andrew Holness did not go there and tell any lies. Mark Golding, on the other hand, told about 90% lies. The other times when he didn't lie, it was when he was forced to answer a question related to what the moderators and those people were asking. Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. So, the debate commission, there's something fundamentally wrong when you have a debate and people can just come there and comfortably, pathologically tell lies. That's not right. That's not normal. And I was reflecting on debates that I saw in the United States, right? And we know the orange man, we know say the orange man, he will come out with some of the most outrageous lies are just things we him see on social media. For example, the people them name dog. You remember when him said that something there? And the people them say, no, Mr. President, nobody's doing that. Them name cats. No, Mr. President, nobody now do that. Them a about baby at 6 months. No, Mr. President, that's a crime. Nobody's doing that. So you have to fact check these people. So Bunting them went there and got away with a few lies, and Mark Golding came and just lied the whole way through. So when I hear a few people talking about, oh, he had the edge and he had the this and he was able to rebut, and rebut what? The man come there, come tell pure lies. Pure lies. Let me show you one video while I'm here. Guys, please give the live a thumbs up for me. Thank you. Andrew Holness, I first me see this in a debate. Andrew Holness called the opposition leader a liar at least 4 times. Straight out called him a liar. Like if me up on a debate stage and a debate with somebody, and somebody have said to my face, me no want nobody call me liar, because I'm not liar. And once you all call me liar in front of the country, that is my credibility. So me either gonna be comfortable with lying and being called a liar, or me gonna tell you, say, no, I'm not lying. Here's the evidence. This is the proof. Don't call me a liar. How dare you? You know? But listen this.
I lost money. The leader of the opposition is a liar and cannot be trusted. I lost money in Cash Plus and Olent. However, the PNP accepted and received $1 million from Olent. He has no credibility to talk about Ponzi scheme. They benefited from the Ponzi scheme to fund their election campaign. He questions my wife's integrity about development. My wife and my family are hardworking Jamaicans. We started off with the taxes like many other Jamaicans, and I have worked hard. He has sought to weaponize that. But the people who receive me when I go into the country, they say, Andrew, don't worry. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. The leader of the opposition is a liar.
Hey, me like that. No weapon. The people of Jamaica. Andrew, don't worry. Me like that. Me say the man go there and tell some liar first. Me see this. Debate people, me tell you something. You see all of the people them and the panelists them when they on the debate and sit down there and hear all those lies and don't and was so comfortable. Only think so on the job should just be to throw out questions? No. Your job should be making sure that you have the Jamaican people them getting truth and fact. Right? So I'm going to tell the debate commission something. It's a phone of credibility. Phone of credibility gone, you know. When you make this Englishman come there and tell so much lie, I want to sit down there and I go on like say this is normal. Uno credibility gone too. Happy Sabbath, everybody, all you Sabbath keepers. Happy Sabbath and good evening. Which Jamaican birth certificate have on at the top the Jamaican hospital? I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into that, to be honest with you, because you have people out there that say them have one birth paper like that and all these things. I don't have no birth paper like that, so we can't really speak on it. I sent to Jamaica when my mom was there and I was applying for my citizenship. This was like 15 years ago. My mom was in Jamaica and I sent to my mom to get my birth paper. And she told me that, you know, we have a different copy now in a different something now. It's blue, you know, stuff like that. And she got a copy and sent it to me. But the one that I got, I was born in the 80s. So the one that I got before that, I'm trying to remember what color that one was. It was so long ago. I don't even remember what my original birth paper looked like. I don't remember. Anybody born in the 80s, remind me, but me don't remember. But the lies. The lies. The lies. The Prime Minister called the man a liar about 5 times. And you see, they see the people them we are talk about say, Mark Golding win. Mark Golding now win nothing. He winning at the lies. He wasn't telling lies. But nobody was competing with him in lies. Okay? But to me, the Prime Minister came out, and although he realized that he was not dealing with honest people, he was dealing with people who just plan for come character assassinate him. You see, when you say you see them people here at the debate commission, how the hell can you let people come in front of you come character assassinate people? Eh? Uno thinks that the stage of the thinks that the debate stage in a Jamaica of a character assassinate people. Guys, you see from the beginning, me telling you, say me I go boycott them people here. Because I see what go on, you know. From very early, you know. Them a boycott, not boycott. Them a blacklist and a exclude journalists, sign language interpreters. That can't be a proper settings. That can't be a fair stage. So from day one, me telling them me was going boycott them because I see what them a deal with. I have never seen this before. Where they let people come in there come character assassinate and attack people personally. It was not about the issues last night for the PNP, but you know what? They lost miserably because the Prime Minister stood up for himself. He left no stone unturned. He defended himself. I want to tell Prime Minister, say, JPU say, him defended himself very well. I was proud of him. The only thing I regret, just one little thing I regret, I'm telling you last night, I regret that when Mark Golding went after the Prime Minister's wife without merit, I only regret that the Prime Minister did not say to him, nobody has ever accused me of molesting my wife underage. Mark Golding did deserve that thump then I'm back. Yes. But nonetheless, the Prime Minister still came out on the right side and he defended himself. I was expecting him to call the man a liar, and he did so about 4 times. Proud of your Prime Minister. Call him what he is. And he looked so defeated. And let me just be very honest with you guys. Let me just be honest. Mark Golding has a real problem. He takes it very personal with Andrew Holness. And you know why? In all his life, Mark Golding has never been challenged by a black man. I don't think he likes that. I think he takes great pride in being an Englishman, Tapanaris, looking the way that he does. I think he understands the social dynamics of being of a certain class. And I think he wears it as, you know, a badge of honor. And he feels protected being of a certain class and, you know, having money. And Andrew Holness, I remember last night Andrew Holness was saying something. And Andrew Holness was not trying to talk over him. He was trying to interject when Mark Golding was lying. And Mark Golding said to Andrew, stop, you're not entitled to do that. I'm sure you guys heard it too. Instead of saying, Prime Minister, I did not interrupt your speech, you know, something like that. But instead he said, stop, you're not entitled to do that. Only Mark Golding is entitled to lie, to disrespect people, to pick on people's family members and spouses. Only he is entitled. He's not used to that. He's not used to being challenged by a black man who is in a higher job position than he is. And that really bothers him. I see it in his attitude toward the Prime Minister. I see it in his behavior. I see it in the way that he speaks about the Prime Minister. I think it was like toward the end, maybe the last 10 minutes or so, he would address Andrew Holness, Dr. Andrew Holness, as Prime Minister. But the entire debate, he was addressing the Prime Minister, Andrew. You, Andrew. Andrew. Imagine if when I want Portia the debate again. Portia had a debate with Bruce Golding. Or anybody prior. But I'm just using Portia because Portia was popular and is popular. Imagine the Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller going into a debate and her opponent addressed her whether she's opposition leader or prime minister, our opponent addresses her as Portia. And let me just say something about being Jamaican. And I hope that nobody on here, if you're non-black or non-Jamaican, that you don't take offense if you do not embody these traits of the opposition leader of Jamaica, Mark Golding. I have no bias toward anybody because of where they're from or what they look like. I judge people by the content of their character and how they treat other people. I know that sometimes we have viewers over here who are non-Jamaicans, and I would never, display any type of racial bias or anything like that. I don't want nobody to discriminate against me. I am a proud black woman, proud Jamaican woman, and I don't walk through this world inferior or, you know, as if I'm ashamed of who I am. No, very proud. And we should all be that way, no matter who we are, where we come from, and what we look like. And I treat everybody with respect. That being said, about being Jamaican, what does it mean to be Jamaican? What is it about being Jamaican? Being a Jamaican, is more than a piece of paper. Of course, if somebody is not being honest about their origin, where they were born, you want to know, right? Because you want to know if you can trust that person. But when it comes down to being a Jamaican, what does that mean? Being a Jamaican is about your mannerisms, right? Even if we don't share the same ancestry, even if your ancestors is not my ancestors, in Mark Golding's case, it doesn't matter. If you're born in a Jamaica, you're supposed to be a Jamaican. But what defines a Jamaican? It is about our mannerisms, our culture. It is about how we treat our fellow men and women, how we treat each other. It's about how we contribute to make our country a better place, right? Mark Golding, in my view, fails the test of being a Jamaican. It has nothing to do with his skin color. Mark Golding doesn't have any manners. And if you are a real Jamaican, if you're a true Jamaican, you understand that we are big on discipline. From a small, I grew up, we're big on discipline. We're big on respecting authority. We're big on, not saying certain things out in public. Certain things we don't say to each other, to other people. Nobody taught Mark Golding those basic things about being a Jamaican. Because why? He was not raised by Jamaican people. And you know what's sad? Even though he was not raised by Jamaican people, I wouldn't want to go out there and disrespect his parents, but we embody our parents. I'm going to tell you a story real quick before I move on. Good evening, everybody. Give the live a thumbs up for me. Christine, big up yourself. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for joining. I was at a public pool recently, and there were some young people there. Young people like maybe under 25 years old, right? Like college age. And I was the only other person there. There was a group of them, four people, one girl and three young men. But we were sitting close, right? Public pool. We were sitting close. And they were playing music from a boombox, but it was loud because I was trying to make a phone call and stuff, and I felt like I needed to walk outside of the pool area, and it shouldn't be that way because it's a public pool, I felt, right? So I went over to them. They were talking loud, laughing out loud, and the music. So I said to them, and this was not a very residential area. So I said to them, can you please turn down the music? And kind of tone it down just a little because I'm trying to make a phone call. So the girl said, okay, no problem. But when me go back to where I was sitting, me hear one of the young man them, him a mumble underneath him breath. Oh, you come to the pool to have fun and blah, 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 blah. And he wouldn't stop. So I got up and I went over there and I said, excuse me. I'm sitting right there and I heard everything you're saying. I said, I was not wrong for asking you guys to turn the music down. This is not a private pool. It's a public pool. And I could come here and blast off some Bob Marley pound, but I don't do that because I realize that this is not my private place. They were drinking some beers. Not they, but the one with that talk, me that drink a beer. Entitled, them kind of people there. So me there and make him know, say, look here, we have to learn to have manners and respect other people. I said, who raised you? Who raised you? And he got really defensive. Like, him feel away. So the other kids, the other young people them at the pool, them say, ma'am, if we don't say anything more about you, if we don't say anything more about you, is the music okay where it is? I said, yes. I would not have come over here if I didn't hear that one trying to make these snide remarks while I'm sitting there. He said, okay. So the music is okay where it is? I said, yes. He said, so if nobody talks about you or say anything rude anymore, it will be okay. I said, yes. And I walked away. About 2 minutes later, I went back to where I was sitting on my phone. About 2 minutes later, the same little rude one, he came over to me. And he said, can I sit here? I said, yes. I just want to apologize to you. I said, really? I said, yes, I want to apologize for the way I behaved just now. This is a guy, he looked like he was about 21. I said, why do you want to apologize? He said, I was having a beer and when you asked me who raised me, it kind of made me feel bad. I said, really? He said, yes. So I said, why you feel bad? He said, because his parents them raised him good. And him said the way that he was behaving and talking, his parents wouldn't be proud of him. So I paused and I said, okay, your apology is accepted. And I was telling him that, I have a 17-year-old daughter. And I said, if my daughter leaves my home and go out there and start behaving in ways that is wrong or that I did not teach her, I would be very embarrassed. I said, for the future, when you go out there, you're not just representing yourself. I know we all make mistakes and we are not perfect, but besides accepting his apology, I admired his humility, even though it was a little late, but okay, fine, people mess up sometimes. But him say him feel bad because I said to him, say, who raised him? Him not no manners. And even though he was having a beer, he wasn't drunk enough to realize that he might embarrass his parents. And this was a group of white kids. Now, back to Mark Golden. When me hear Mark Golden talking and behaving them kind of way there, Mark Golden was not raised by Jamaican people. Whether it be a mother, a father, grandparents, auntie, we don't do them kind of style there. No matter how we poor, no matter how we not nothing, no matter how we undereducated, formally, we deal with discipline and manners. So for Mark Golden to be 60 years old and behaving certain kind of way, I know that he was not raised by Jamaican people. And that's part of what makes you a Jamaican. Your mannerism, how you deal with people, the things you say to people. And that's why I don't go about on social media disrespecting people. The only time you will see me come out of character are when people trouble me. I'm a woman, I'm bad pa my mouth. People don't like argue with me because them know me will carry them down. But I don't go around doing that. But at the same time, I won't be bullied and nobody's going to take advantage of me. That's for damn certain. Right? But to be a Jamaican, it's more than a birth paper. It's really about your attitude. It is. And I've come to the realization that Mark Golding has a real problem with Andrew Holness, a black man, a man who has a PhD, a man who is the prime minister twice, a man who people respect, a man who can speak well, deliver himself well, carry himself well, a man who can stand anywhere in the world and represent Jamaica, a man who can look Mark Golding in the face and say, you are a liar, you are a flip-flopper, you are a hypocrite. He doesn't like that. This is the first time in Mark Golding's life that a black man is going to diss him because he deserves it. Let me read some of your comments here. Thank you for returning the boy to realize his mistake. Yeah, man. I could have run him away, you know. Because, you know, him really the kind of come out time face with me a little bit. You understand? But sometimes you just have to remind people that, you know, you can't move through the world certain way. Me don't know him from nowhere. Me don't know if I saw him parents them raise him for true. Me never know. That's why me ask him, says, who raised you? You know? And I want to tell you, say, after him come and apologize to me, about 20 minutes after that, they left and left me alone was there. And before he left again, him come back to me again and apologize again. Him come and apologize again. And when he left, I was thinking about it, and I said, boy, you saw life go? But you have to give him parents credit. Because if him parents never raised him good for true, he would have no acknowledgement or feel no guilt about being challenged about his behavior. And he wouldn't have no consideration for his parents. So he wouldn't come and apologize or feel no way at all. But him probably see same friends them not act like him because they were nice about it. But he's the only outlier. Trying to be a wise guy. And for me to ask me in front of him friends them, who raised you? Because them not going like you. Him feel bad. He couldn't stop apologize. Let me read some comments here. Mr. Holness is a better person than me because if he spoke about my wife like that, I would ask how old was his wife when he slept with her. Boy, I say the only thing I regret that the Prime Minister never do was challenge him upon female wife. Because you see some people, you have to let them know how it feels, right? When the Prime Minister said to Mark Golding, say, are you a Jamaican? He felt so bad. You can see it in his facial expression. He felt so bad. And I said to myself, so you see it? That is how it feels when you are calling a man thief for 5 years. That's how it feels. Nobody no hurt him feelings. But him get up every day telling lies on the Prime Minister, calling Prime Minister thief. You think it nice? Mark Golding go Canada, America. I tell them say the Prime Minister of Jamaica thief. The Prime Minister of Jamaica corrupt also. That's not a nice thing. You know? And you see, when the Prime Minister look at him and asks him, are you a true Jamaican? And all the things that he said, he holds his head down. May I have one picture For those of you who are just joining, let me play this back real quick. This is the Prime Minister calling Mark Golding about a fourth time, calling him a liar to his face. Sit here. Oh, hold on, let me turn up the volume.
The Ponzi scheme to fund. The leader of the opposition is a liar and cannot be trusted. I lost money in Cash Plus and Olint. However, the PNP accepted and received $1 million from Olint. He has no credibility to talk about the Ponzi scheme. They benefited from the Ponzi scheme to fund their election campaign. He questions my wife's integrity about development. My wife and my family are hardworking Jamaicans. We started off with the taxes like many other Jamaicans, and I have worked hard. He has sought to weaponize that. But the people who receive me when I go into the country, they say, Andrew, don't worry. No weapon formed against you shall prosper.
And this is why
is a liar and cannot be trusted.
This is why I have said, guys,
The leader of the opposition
anybody
is a liar.
who follow my blogs, them hear me say this before, that you see, sometimes you have to think twice before you get into certain things, right? I would not want to be in politics with my spouse. I wouldn't want to do it. Because you just, to me personally, as a woman, right? If my spouse is in politics, I'm not gonna go in there because somebody might try to come after me a certain way. And I know he's not gonna like that. He's gonna seek to defend me. And I don't want to put him in that position. You know, I would rather be the one to defend him and, you know, have his back and let make him go on to the politics. Likewise, if me in the politics, I would really want my spouse for coming at the politics too. Because, you know, there's just certain things what you don't want to subject other people to. Or you don't want to feel like you're subjecting other people to. You understand? And I've seen it. It's the same thing with Darrell Vaz and his wife. Somebody says something about his wife, him run out and defend his wife. I remember one time he said, if anybody want to get to my wife, they have to go through me. You shouldn't have to be saying these things in politics. I know that some people might have come and say, well, the woman is free to do this. Yes, you might free to do it, but I know everything you must do because you're free to do it. Think about it now, man. The Prime Minister was obviously hurt. You're talking about his wife, he should be. But why get in that position? You have enough coming at you. You have enough to worry about. I think it's so unfair. I think it's so wrong. I know Juliet Owens can defend herself, but she was not up there last night to defend herself. So her husband is going to defend her. Let me tell you something. You have some men where they oppress their wives. Them want the woman them for just stay home, raise the kids, be a wife, be a good spouse, be a good housekeeper and them thing there. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that. It's actually a very fulfilling job. It is a fulfilling job. But there are some women who they start doing it, and along the way, they feel like they can do more, or, you know, the kids grow up and stuff like that, and they want to do something else. They want to establish a career. They want to do their own thing. They don't want to just be there at the beck and call of their spouse, or, you know, they just want to do something else. It's been 10 years, 15 years, them just want to do something else. But if they dare mention it, they're supposed to have a problem with it. And that to me is oppressive, right? Now, Mark Golding, I think he said he's been married for 30 years. And whether by choice or by force, I don't know, his wife has been a wife, a housewife, for all these decades, 3 decades. Nobody did not know her before. Nobody never hear from her, heard her spoke before. But how me know say, Mark Golina have no true respect and love for his wife. And I don't care who vex. When PJ Patterson, you are the leader of the opposition, and when PJ Patterson is going to say to you, bring out your wife, you're trying to be the leader of the country. You see the Prime Minister there has a nuclear family with him wife and him kids them. You have a wife and some kids, some grown kids. You know, if you have a kids them with you all the time, because we want to protect our kids, right? And plus they're grown. But you're coming to the Jamaican people them, and the former Prime Minister has to be telling you to walk with your wife. What kind of style that? You talk about how your wife is beautiful and she's your rock and she's your this and she's your that. You're coming to the Jamaican people and you now walk with the woman. What are we supposed to think? You share my woman? You're a public figure, you know. You seek to lead the country. And I know you alone upon the journey. And you and your wife upon the journey. So for the former Prime Minister, I'll call you back. For the former Prime Minister, if you said to you, say, walk with your wife, come out with your wife. You know, look good. Something look wrong. When you don't like to attack without stopping and thinking, when you like to go after women in the way that you do, you not no regard for your own wife on the yard. And you resent women who are progressive and women who are outgoing. Because you not used to that at home. You not used to having women around you and in our life who are progressive women. So when you see other progressive women, that poses a threat to you and for no patriarchal view of life. Very interesting, this politics, guys. Very interesting. I told you he was a troubled child. That's why his father used to send him home. Okay. Him not have no manners. No manners. And you know what? This is the final thing I'm going to say. I feel sorry for the Prime Minister. That the Prime Minister has to stand beside Mark Golding and debate him. Certain people, I don't want within 10 feet of me. And it's not because I think I'm better than anybody. It's because to be disrespected by certain people shouldn't happen. You know, as a blogger, somebody was out here a long time. What I do here, the things I say here, you might have some people who don't agree with me. Some people really, really and truly resent me, especially those in the PNP, resent me for what I say and what I do out here. And sometimes I see their comments. Sometimes I hear what they say. But and everybody you ever get me respond to and answer to. I wouldn't dare. Because sometimes when you argue with certain people, your value drop. You devalue yourself when you argue and respond to certain people. So when everybody call me name, I go answer them. You don't care how bad the things they say, and not everybody may answer to. And that's why it hurts to see Andrew Holness standing up beside Mark Golding, arguing, defending himself, defending his work. Andrew Holness should not be in that position. Andrew Holness, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, should be standing beside somebody of equal caliber. Somebody who was raised right, somebody who has respect, decorum, decency, somebody who speaks truth. That's a person that Andrew Holness should be debating, standing beside. In my view, Mark Golding is beneath and unworthy to stand beside Andrew Holness. And Andrew Holness knows this. He's smart enough to know this. He probably asked himself a few times throughout the debate, what the hell am I doing here beside this man? Seriously. Andrew Holness should be standing beside and debating a Jamaican, no matter what they look like, but a Jamaican who understands what it means to be disciplined and respectful, carry themselves with decency. He come here to speak truth. And when you're put in a position to deal with that, it's not easy. All because of what? Patriotism? All because of love for country? Enough people know that walk off of that stage last night, you know. Enough people know that walk off that stage. And I'm sure Prime Minister Andrew Holness felt bad having to look at a man that calls himself the opposition leader and say to him in front of the country, you are a liar. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, at least 4 times. The opposition leader is a liar. That's not nice. So, as I say, very interesting times. Very interesting times. And that's probably one of the reasons why Lisa Hanna left the PNP. You can't make certain people diss you. And you're still in their circle. You can't make certain people pass them place with you. You're mad. You can't be in the same room with certain people. And it has nothing to do with feeling like you're better than people. But you have a duty to defend yourself, defend your image, defend your value. And when you stoop, or when you allow certain things to happen, you devalue. You notice that everybody around PNP now, then devalue. You know how much people reach out to me, PNP, JLP and no P. We say, boy, the brother they were named Damian Crawford. Boy, I'm lose off of him. I'm sorry. Just the mere fact that Damian Crawford did it with gold in them. And I tried disrespect Andrew Holness. I follow them. I call Andrew Holness thief and them thing there. You gotta be careful. Them price drop significantly. Yeah, Joan, for sure. All of them devalue. And that's why I wonder to myself, say, how can I set up a group, a set of black people follow behind a man who hold up shackles over a black man's head, and them are going to allow themselves to make them value drop following this man? The whole of them over PNP smarter than Mark Golding. The whole of them Jamaican more than him. The whole of them can carry themselves better than him. Me not talk about looks or what you wear, although you have to be presentable in politics. But me I talk about the Jamaicanness. All of them in a PNP smarter than him. All of them in a PNP understand the Jamaicanness and what it mean and how you carry yourself. Even as wicked as Peter Bunting is, although him lie to. But they can pretend then. All of them. Me can't follow nobody where I gonna make me look. You're crazy? No? If anybody I gonna make me look bad at me, I gonna make myself look bad. But me not make nobody make me look bad. By following. Self-sabotaging objects. Hello, Natalie. Thank you for your hard work and consistency. Beach lover, thank you. Golden cannot measure up to Mr. Holness in any way. It's true. And you hear Marlene Malahu say it one night here. And one thing with Jamaican people, don't force if you have to talk the truth, you know. Because they say, I know every truth you have to talk, you know. Some truth you have to hold it, you know. But do not force a Jamaican person to have to tell you the truth. Because when the truth come down, it can come down very hard. Allow me to tell guys, I know every truth we talk. But when we say, look here, I just start the truth, you know, brace yourself. So when Marlene Malawu have to come out on the campaign and on the stage and say, Mark Golding, you cannot stand in the shoes of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Michael Holness. She meant it. With every fiber of our body, she meant it. And it is true. And Mark Golding knows it, and he has a problem with it. Having to compete with this black boy. Because so him behave. I not say so every English person behave or feel about Jamaican black. I know all people stay so. But Mark Golding behavior tell me say, this is how him view a successful black prime minister. I shouldn't have to stand here beside you with you having the bigger job than me. At first, me see this. Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister, does so much work. I get a lower salary than the opposition leader. Andrew Holness deserves every single penny, every dollar I'm pay. But because then come out and paint out the man to be this and that, and then come out and make it look like, say, because everybody get a raise, the Prime Minister did something wrong. They might take the raise, you know. But they might cost the Prime Minister if him take the raise. So the Prime Minister said, no, but I want it. If me ever do my work, and me can take my pay like how Uno take for Uno pay, me no bother want it. And first me see this, me I take my pay, no? Me I take my pay. Because me I work for my pay. I'm not a thief, me I go take my pay. And Jonas, you need to take your pay. Take your pay. Take your pay. People who call your thief, take them pay. Take your pay. The election is Wednesday. If you win back the election, try take your pay. Stop from going around and tell people about, say, them take pay and you take a little bit of pay. Take your pay. You're working for your pay. Am I wrong, people? I could hear a sound in his voice. God is with you, Mr. Andrew. I hope Andrew take the right salary come next Thursday morning. And that may I advocate for. If we have to put up one petition, we're going to do it. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, take your pay. The rest of them are take it and all them are do. Jamaica people, them are pay them for tell lie upon you. So take your pay. Them not do no work, you know. You are work for the nation, you know. Them are work for party, you know. For win election. And I be a lie them a tell, so take your pay. Mark Golding is not Prime Minister material. Mr. Holness set the bar. Mark can't measure up. That's true. And you know what? For the PNP, try to present Mark Golding to the country as a Prime Minister material. It is, guys, me cannot find enough adjective to describe how low the PNP is for doing that. How disrespectful of the people they are for doing that. How can you present Mark Golding to the people about, how can you present Mark Golding to represent our country? And say you love our country. You don't love a country? You're wicked. You're mad. You're some social climber in the PNP. Them a walk up and down and a take picture and a time come and them something there. Them no love them country. They are nothing but social climbers. They want to be rubbing shoulders with people who are close to power. Social climbers. And you say if me did stay bad, me call out no for them, you know. Because one of them, for example, when she was in my city a few years ago, since Mark Golden became leader of the opposition, she reached out to me and we went out to lunch. And she made it very clear. She said, I'm not with a man, yeah. And she out there post a picture every day. Oh, time come on, Mark Golden. Because them a social climber. But me just look on them and shake my head. Because they know deep down in their heart say this not right for Jamaica. But they're not patriotic, they're social climbers. As long as they can, you know, go among those people and be part of the whole Tapanaris class, that's good enough for them. I am so glad my parents, my community, my schools, my churches that I grew up in Jamaica, they taught us patriotism from a very early age. So we can't buy out and sell out. And we can't do tribalism, at least not for too long. We may have been misled, misguided, you know, got on the wrong path, whatever, with our ideology, philosophy. But because of our early teaching, we can find ourselves and look on things and say, this no right or that wrong. So I want to thank my community, my family, church, school, for what they taught us. We can stand tall on patriotism every time. Anyway, guys, I thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by. There's no live tonight, you know. This is the live. Early live. This is the live. So if you come catch the live, welcome. But there's not going to be anything more on the channel in terms of live broadcast after this. It's now 8 p.m. where I am. We'll be coming on in an hour under normal circumstance, but I just decided to come a little early, you know, because I had the time just come in and them thing there. Yes, Miss Joan, thank you. So there's really nothing besides what I told you that I heard when I first came on, which is that according to the news, couple of bomb threat, they're around the country and they must say they might try to interfere with the democratic process, trying to interfere with the election. The General Secretary of the JLP, Dr. Horace Chang, Deputy Prime Minister, National Security Minister, he blamed the PNP. He said it's an orchestrated attack, an orchestrated effort to interfere with the election because when you know the police, them and so soldier them, to they feed them there for vote. So with the bomb threat and them thing there, that would keep people away from the polls. If you were here earlier, if you want to rewind this after we're done, I have said that me feel like Jamaica need one state of emergency for this election because I see the posture of the PNP and them followers. War for war and war and war and war. We see them burn down Comrade House. Them a block road, them a see people a block road, a obstruct traffic, a stop people from exercising their freedom of movement. And I anticipate that if they lose the election, we can look out for see crime go up. They're stoning the buses and them something there. So don't be surprised if you see the government call a state of emergency. Don't be surprised. Blood on fire. And yes, exactly right, Clara. For Dr. Chang come out, Dr. Chang is not one of them people who will just come out and call people name. He's the National Security Minister. And if him come out and say a PNP, that me I work with. Me trust Dr. Chang. Dr. Chang now have to tell me, From me see them thing they are going, me see PNP them behavior. So, me first tell you, say them for cause state of emergency for the election. So, I'm not surprised. It will get worse if the government and the security apparatus, them not do something. Them need to have an election plan to keep the nation safe and the people. All right, so, make we see how it go. Richard, welcome. Guys, wanna hit the like button before I leave now. Hit up the like button for me, please. And share the live with somebody. I hope you guys enjoyed the live that we did last night, the post-debate live. Me and Jamaica 411 and Karen did. I think it was good. Everybody have them different opinion. We didn't all agree. 411 say she measure winning in a debate settings a little different from other people. I thought that the Prime Minister hands down took it. He answered the questions and stood up for himself and called Mark Golding what he was or is, a liar. 4 times, you're a liar. This man cannot be trusted, has no credibility. He's a liar. That's what I expected from the Prime Minister. But he tried to have decorum at first. He tried to play by the rules. He tried to be respectful. Because as a Jamaican, in the true sense of the word, that's who he is. Be respectful. But he was able to readjust real quick and do what he needed to do to inform the people. I am going to post his closing statement. And I hope you guys also like the video that I posted where I compiled all the responses of the Prime Minister, cut out everything what Golden said. I don't want to hear what Golden say. But I compiled all the responses of the Prime Minister and put them in one video on all the issues on the environment, on integrity, corruption, on the economy, on all the issues. It's one video, guys. You should watch it and share it so the Jamaican people will hear without the noise, without the lies, uninterrupted, what the Prime Minister of Jamaica has to say. That's a very important, very good video, right? So, let us catch up. I may or may not come tomorrow because, an election, anything can pop up, anything can happen. So, you might see me tomorrow, Saturday. And maybe even Sunday too, we'll see. Definitely Monday, the first day of school, and definitely on Wednesday. So guys, let us catch up. Have a good rest of your evening and be safe out there. Thank you for joining.